All right, I'm sending you live now. And you are live at 6:01.
Okay. Vince Foti here, calling the Parks and Rec Commission meeting for Monday, November 2nd at 6:02. Take roll call so we can see who's here. Just remember to unmute yourself, and then after we get done with the roll call, just put yourself back on mute because it works best when there's just one person talking and everybody else is muted. So I'll take roll call. Chairman Vince Foti, that's me. Yes, I'm here. Commissioner Gary DeLello.
I'm here.
Commissioner Brett Heidel.
He's here.
Brett's there. I see him. Commissioner Carolyn Marks, she's working on getting here. And so is Beth. I don't see Beth Ashbaugh. She's working on it. Council member Katie Lepari-Shu. I see she's here. And Parks Administrator Lou Lansing.
I'm here.
And Lou
I'm here
Lansing.
too.
Okay. So first we go review the minutes that I sent out for October 5th, 2020. Sure you all had a chance to take a look at those. Need a motion from somebody to approve those minutes for October 5th, 2020.
I'll make that motion, Vincent.
Okay, Gary DeLello makes the motion. Second. That would have to be Brett. Brett seconds it. All in favor? Aye. So Brett, Gary, and Vince, all in favor. That's who we have on record so far. I see Greg Mattice is trying to log on. Let's just see something here.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Petitioners. I don't know if we have any listeners or any petitioners. I don't see any or hear any.
Well, we do have the Festival of Lights.
That's in the park. That's under. Okay, we can
Yeah.
we can do that now. I read your email on that. I think it's well. Why don't you go ahead and say? I mean, it sounds like a great idea.
It's basically Carol Mandigo called me last week. First Night Oneonta, they are an organization that does our 4th of July every year, except this year. And they do a fantastic job in the park with the 4th of July celebration. She is asking, the First Night is interested, their committee is interested in doing a festival light show during the holiday season for our community in Neowa Park. They plan to decorate the park with all kinds of light exhibits that can be seen and enjoyed by cars, so it's a safe event. They would like to open the festival on Friday, December 18th through Sunday, January 3rd. The hope by Carol and the committee is to enlist the talents of our local artists, and we have a lot of really creative people to work on creating displays that possibly organizations will be willing to donate for their work to have these displays throughout the park. They've requested all the facilities you see in my parks report there. Everybody in the city is on board with this, but the first step is to get the commissioners on board, and tomorrow night they're going to do a presentation for council. So I guess I'm just going to open it up to questions, concerns. I think everybody's read the parks report. And you can go from there, Vince.
Yeah, I mean the parks. It seems like it's COVID-19 friendly. I mean not friendly. You know, the fact that they're riding around in cars to see things. It's a good thing, and to see the park all lit up. I'm actually kind of excited to see it. I don't know if anybody has any questions or objections to it. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Anybody else have comments on it?
Sounds
Gary,
like
you
a good
okay- you
idea.
okay with it?
And he sounds like a good idea.
Okay, Brett? Yeah. Katie, I suppose they'll be talking about it more at the council meeting, but I think you can just bring forward that everybody on our side was looking forward to it and sounded like a great idea. Do you have any questions? You have any?
I will. I'm really excited about it too.
Yeah, sounds good. It's one of
Right
those.
up your alley, Katie. This is art.
I know.
This is
Great.
I was so excited. I said, Katie's going to love this.
Thanks, Lou. Yes, I'm so excited.
In the park, I mean, when it's the when it's lit up down there, and when they put some artistic flair to it, it should be something that's good for the eyes. So I'll put it down. I don't do we have to make a motion to accept it or no? I mean
I don't. In my opinion, you don't have to, Vince, but I don't know Robert's rules of order or anything.
No, I would. I mean, Katie, as a liaison, you can just say it came up in our meeting and everybody was excited about it and thought it would be a great idea. So I'll write it up in the minutes as that.
I will.
Okay, great. All right, Lou, why don't you keep going with your parks report, please?
Okay. I hope you all read the part about the parks resurfacing project. It's almost done. There's some finishing touches that need to happen on courts 1 through 5. Just so everyone knows, we have many low spots on all of the courts, especially in Wilbur, that the Nagel company will try to get. I think they got some of them. They will try, when they come back in the spring, they will try to resolve some of those, but there's just no way with a simple resurfacing that they're going to be able to take care of all of them, just so that everyone's aware of that. They have not completed the painting of courts, tennis courts in Wilbur Park 6 and 7, and the basketball court there, but they hope to finish that when the weather turns warmer in the spring. They will attempt that after the high school has finished their tennis season. They were good enough to line courts 6 and 7 so that the tennis, in high school tennis and college tennis, you have to have 6 competitive courts, so that we would have that 6th court and a warm-up court. They were gracious enough to do that for us at no extra expense. And they'll come back in when the weather's better and finish that. The pickleball facility, we did have a problem with the court dimensions are different. They put down a different set of dimensions than what pickleball calls for. I don't know what caused the confusion, but we've corrected it with them. Greg is all over this. It will be taken care of. The pickleball people nearly had a heart attack, but I think they're okay now. They didn't run me out of the park on a rail, but close to it. So I think it will be resolved in the spring as well. I had some questions as to why we selected blue as opposed to the old green. I think if you recall a while back, Greg and I brought these colors to the commission. I think I even did copies of all the courts for you in one of my parks reports. I cannot remember which one. Greg and I talked about it. There's lots of colors available, but we picked blues because it fit with the city colors and the high school colors. And if Hartwick plays, Hartwick's colors. So we thought it was fitting. It's not because blue's my favorite color, even though it really is, but that's the reason why we picked blue. Anybody have any questions on the resurfacing project?
I've received a lot of comments on it and they were all positive. They did mention the color, but they said, most of the folks that were commenting to me, they like the color. In fact, they said that's the color that the United States Tennis Association, or like when you see the Australia Open or some of these other opens, the actual courts are that bluish, are of the blue color, because I guess you can pick up the sight of tennis balls better with that. Anyway, I made believe I knew that we did it that way because we could pick up we could see the tennis ball better, but they had a lot of good explanations of why blue is a good color. So I just think it goes back to the same old thing. People, any little change, it's hard for them to accept change no matter what it is. But I kind of like the color of the courts.
Yeah, me too. And the city also went, we got brand new posts that are black and they look really nice on that blue paint.
Yeah,
I think,
looks
I think
spiffy.
it's a big improvement.
Okay.
You want me to go on, Vince?
Yeah, I want you to continue on through your report. You might as well.
Okay. The other, I think, exciting thing that we have is I'm almost ready to be able to launch the Rec Desk Oneonta community site, which is on here. It's not, don't try to do it yet because it's not up and operational as of yet. But basically what it will be is anyone who requests park space, especially our returning reserve users, they will have all this information, be able to create an account and a password, go on this and do an application. They won't have to print anything off, do the application. It will immediately come to me. I will take the application and enter it. And as soon as within 2 weeks, they will send me their certificate of insurance. If all of that checks out, I will issue them a park permit. And at the end of the season, at the end of each season, I will issue every user a bill, which will include their application fee. So they don't have to take a trip to City Hall. They don't have to see anybody in finance. Finance doesn't have to do anything with it until the end of the season. When I will email the permit and I will email their invoice at the end of the year. They'll have some time to check it, make sure that they're good with it. And then they can send a check to finance and they will have that information. They will also have the information if they want to use a credit card. They can call finance and I will give them that number so that they will not need to make a trip to City Hall. So it's going to be, I think, a very convenient process if everything works accordingly. I'm going to, if Carol is approved for the Festival of Lights tomorrow night at council, like I think she will, I'm going to ask her to be my first guinea pig and go through it, do it, and make sure that everything's going to work in the system the way I think it's going to. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, anytime you can automate the process and at the same time have it be user friendly and make it faster and make it so somebody doesn't have to go to City Hall and that frees up somebody in City Hall so they can do other things. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. That's great work. Absolutely great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Gail's excited about it because she had to handle all this stuff and email me back and forth. And the nice thing about this is going to be, I think, doing the invoice at the end of the season, because what was happening is I would invoice people immediately so that finance would have that record. And then if they had a rain out or something changed, baseball, softball, that always happens. I ended up doing a revised invoice and a revised invoice, and that was crazy. So hopefully we've taken all of that out of the equation, and I think it's going to be a smoother process, I hope.
No, that's great. Congratulations. Like I said, thinking of taking a tedious task or taking something that doesn't work very well and figuring out a better way to do it. I mean, that's what it's all about. Thank you. Okay.
The only other thing I have, Vince, in my report is I wanted to see what the commission thought about. We are probably not going to set up the ice rink this year for obvious reasons. It's too small a space, very hard to keep. I mean, skaters, they take 3 skates and they're on top of each other. We just thought it was the best way to go for this season. It also frees up the large pavilion for the Festival of Lights. I mean, that was not really the reason why we did it, but it's a nice compromise.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I don't think there's really any option than to not do, as you say. I mean, we would like to have things open, but I still don't think the small space that's down there and who's going to monitor the social distancing. Unfortunately, I have to agree with what you're saying.
Everybody else good with it?
Everybody else go with the ice skating?
Yep. It's tough, but
I'm sorry, Gary, you can't skate this year,
it's a
Hi.
tough thing.
This is Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Hello. Hi. Sorry.
I was having lots of technical difficulties. I agree with the ice skating. I was here for that part.
They'll have to, if they want to do any skating, they'll have to do head to the roller rink. Do
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this year.
roller skating. All right.
That's it for me, Vince, I think.
All right. Again, as always, appreciate the thoroughness in your report, and appreciate the things that you do. Look forward to that rec desk being open and getting that going. That'll be a great asset.
Greg, did you
Okay.
want to add anything to the, since you've been really working on the resurfacing project?
No, I think you covered it, Lou. Thank you. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we had some hiccups there, but we're going to get them resolved. And by the time everyone's playing next summer, we'll be good to go.
I mean, how easy is it for them to get the lines right? Are they going to have to? Is it just a matter of covering? I mean, they just going to paint over one line and then expand it, or how do they do that?
I'm not certain how extensive it'll have to be. I imagine they're going to have to redo all the lines, because in addition to the 46 feet versus 44, there was a couple that were a few inches off here and there, and the tolerance is supposed to be like a quarter of an inch. So
Yeah.
to put some more color down over top of the lines and then redo the
Will
lines.
they have to move any posts?
No, the posts were set correctly. The fence was set correctly. So fortunately, it's the easy thing to fix in this case. The lines easier than the posts, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Oneonta Fence did a great job with the posts and the fencing. It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
it looks good. I mean, we should have a running start for next year if we can get clearance to actually have some activities. Yeah, it's amazing the people that play pickleball, how they know. I mean, how they know the line's off by an inch or 2 inches, but they know.
Well, the biggest complaint they had was the kitchen, which is the no volley zone, and it is off by a foot on each side. So that's significant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see where they would see that. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have any worries about it. Just next spring, get it taken care of, and then because folks, if it's gonna be a kind of a COVID type of winter where folks aren't gonna be able to do too much, when spring rolls around, there's going to be a lot of people with cabin fever, and I can tell you, people are going to be wanting to do something, and the faster we can clear all this up and be ready to go when it's time to go, the better off that we'll be. That's keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that some of these activities like basketball and softball and can get clear to play, but time will tell.
I'm just hoping we have a warm spring, because they're not going to be able to do that painting until the temperature's right.
Yeah, they don't, and you don't want to rush it. You just want to do it at the right time, so you don't have to redo it. Just get it right. So. All right.
How much longer will the courts be open? Do you have a end date for the pickleball courts and/or tennis for the fall?
We just thought we would go right through March with that stuff. No. Traditionally, we close the all park facilities traditionally after the first weekend in November. So it would be this weekend. Mm-hmm. We're going to just kind of take it day by day with the weather and see if we can go a little bit longer. It's not advisable to leave those posts in so that they freeze in there, because that can create also surface cracks. So we're just going to try to play it by ear, because people have been asking for tennis specifically, and the pickleball people are always wanting to play. So they'll be out there with their probably their snowmobile jackets and everything out there playing. But we're just going to have to take it day by day.
That's good, because I think this week, Wednesday, supposed to be
nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a week of nice weather.
Yeah.
Temperatures above 50, approaching 60. So
yeah.
I think it'll be good if you do it day by day and just use your judgment, after a week or so.
Right.
Well, especially too, since there's really nowhere that people can go indoor to, continue playing either pickleball or tennis. There's no indoor facility available like there have been in the past. So if we can keep that going day by day, that would be great.
Well, pickleball people have been playing a little bit at the tennis club, but I guess it's pretty expensive.
Oh,
So-
so they
so I've
have, but they
heard-
had to pay to
So
play.
I've heard they pay by the hour there, and they were using our portable systems. They have returned our portable systems, and
That's
we
right.
will be surplusing them very soon. So I'm sure that they will be interested in buying some of them. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Greg, do you have anything else? I appreciate you, checking in here in the Zoom meeting.
No,
Okay.
be here, but
On to old business we go. I'm gonna revisit the fact that, Mayor Herzig, Gary said that he's all ears as far as who we'd want, some recommendations to, join up on our committee for Parks and Rec, since my last meeting is December, and also Gary DeLello, his last meeting is December, because he's served for how many years, Gary? 9?
Couple terms, yep.
Okay, so there's you're going to be definitely down 2 for the committee. So you need to come up with a few recommendations of folks. Probably by he would make the appointments in January. I think he does that in January. So you need to think about who can step on the committee, who can step onto our committee. As
keeping
far
in
as
mind that they have to be city residents.
that is correct. That is
Yeah.
correct. So Dave Weaver,
Okay.
newly on our board, he had to step down because he moved out to the town, which was unfortunate because he was good, but you have to be a resident of the city, correct? Might think about I don't know, folks that have young kids or folks that I don't know who did the or in the upper level of Wilbur Park there. What was it called? The the kids like so much.
Fairyland.
The ferry, yeah.
Fairyland, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe seek somebody who was involved in Fairyland and who would have an interest in maybe taking their vision to actually serving on the committee, which basically involves 45 minutes a month, and could be more if you wanted to get involved in other ways, but there's no fundraising, it's just it's an hour or so a month. But do we know anybody in the fit that participated in I know we identified some folks and thanked them at our last meeting for the work they did for that, starting that up there. They might be a good source for committee members. Does
Yeah,
anybody have anything?
I have a couple ideas. I don't know any ferry park people, but I have a couple of people I've been talking with, and I'll see who really is available.
Okay, sounds good.
Brett, did you know the gentleman that was that started that Fairyland, the one I told you about? Brett? Did we lose Brett? Maybe.
Nope.
I'll reach out to the gentleman that was on
Okay, okay.
Fairyland and see if he's interested.
Oh, sorry.
We just wondered if you knew anybody who the people that started Fairyland or that were.
Yeah, I think I know who it is. There's
It's
been a lot.
Gary, I think his first name's Gary.
Yeah, and Gary and his wife.
Yes. I don't know that they have young children, but they are city residents.
Yeah.
They live on Union Street.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes, also think outside the box, or an artistic person, or if there's, I don't know, just have to make the ask and see, you have some time, because the actual appointments, again, they're not until after January.
I'll go through some of our park traditional users and see if there's anybody I can think of from that group that might want to serve.
Okay. Underneath new business, I had a call from Mark Greigel. He actually is a vice president, one of the vice presidents of New York Central Mutual Insurance Company. He's grown up in Oneonta and he has used the parks in his youth. And he always had fond memories of the Niwa Pond, and asked about the possibility of bringing back swans, a couple swans to the pond. I told him I bring it up. They were beautiful to see those swans swimming around the pool, swimming around the pond, and then in the wintertime they would take them somewhere. I don't know where they would. Greg, do you know where they would take those swans? They would take them somewhere where it wouldn't freeze.
I'm not sure.
And then they'd bring
Probably
them.
ask around.
Then they'd bring them back. Then they'd bring them back, in the springtime. But I don't know what it all involves in getting swans. And
I think it's going to be a challenge, Vince, if we're still doing our goose chasing, because
yeah,
that's going to be a challenge.
yeah.
Not that I don't think swans are pretty too, but we can't continue to chase the geese if we have swans there.
Yeah.
And what would the competition be between the geese and the swans also? Would they?
I have no idea about that.
Yeah, I understand.
It would be like National Geographic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he also asked if who reviews the bike pass, in the opportunities for bikers, is that under continual review, or there's always a need for more bike paths and expansions, and I spoke with him a little bit about the bike paths by the Susquehanna fields out there by where the buses are, city buses are kept. There's bike path that goes along a walking path, bike path that goes along the Susquehanna River.
Of it's Silas Lane, yeah. Vince, he's welcome to call me. I'd be glad to tell him all about our bike trails, and I can connect him with the bike group. It's a huge group, and they do a lot with our bike trails. I mean, they are the keepers of our bike trails. They really are.
Yeah, and they're out there with leaf blowers and rakes this time of year.
Weed whackers, leaf blowers, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's good, because it's good to, I hope that biking community continues to grow. I mean, that when they had that bike, when Mike Maven organized that bike competition among high school kids, I mean, that was a huge success.
And there was originally supposed to be 2 other bike events this past summer that got canceled because of COVID, which I think is even going to make bike enthusiasts even more excited, because I think next year we'll have 3 main bike events.
The biking is, I went down to Sam Baskin, who owns the bike shop down there on Main Street, I have no concept about bikes. I just went down there to buy a bike. There was no bikes to be bought. He didn't have any in stock. There was no bikes to be bought. None.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said he told me to go on Facebook and get ask around for a used bicycle. So that's what I did, and I got a bike. But he couldn't. The manufacturers, he's all sold out. I mean, he's making his living on repairing used bikes at the moment. So the biking industry is the supply can't keep up with the demand at the moment. You can go to Walmart or Kmart or the big box stores, and you can find some bikes in there. But he was saying the bike shops and the specialty bikes and so forth, they can't keep them in stock, and they can't get any. They put in their order, but they can't get any to come in. No, good problem to have, I guess. You got a demand for your product. All right. Anybody else have anything for new business?
Nope.
Okay. Well, just don't have anything else. There's nothing else. We'll just have a motion to adjourn, and we can turn it over to the mayor for his meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Vinny.
All right. Anybody second it?
I'll second it.
All right, Brett, all in favor?
Aye.
I
All right.
Okay, so the next meeting, our December meeting is gonna be December 7th. That's the first Monday, December 7th at 6 p.m. All right, thanks for attending. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Vince.
thank you.
Okay, Vinny.
See you later, everybody.